So I think this was the first or second week that Jon Stewart came back from
The grave.
from the grave. I mean, he was risen from the dead, truly. No, Jon Stewart decided, I think, after the problem with Jon Stewart on Apple, another dig at Apple TV Plus or Apple Plus, or whatever the fuck it is.
Apple Plus TV,
Apple Plus
streaming
TV equals
Tubi.
Yeah. That he wanted to come back to the Daily Show. Now, when I first saw this, I was like a little bit of an eye roll as someone who wants to see the torch be passed to new blood, different blood. I was kind of gunning for, honestly, Roy Wood Jr. I like him a lot, and I think he would have been fantastic, and I was sorry that he left. However, watching Jon Stewart last night and again, I think this was actually it might have been his first.
It sounded like it was his first.
It sounded like it was his first, but I swear to God, last week I saw another clip, but I don't do I fact check? Come on, no.
Who's got time?
Who's got time? But after watching his return monologue, in which he talked about the 2024 election, Joe Biden v. Donald Trump, I was like, immediately felt like this wave of catharsis and appreciation wash over me, because you see how designed for this show he was, even if it was, interestingly, a show that wasn't initially designed for him, but how much he made it his. It is absolutely his, and how effortlessly he breaks down politics with a unique and passionate angle that I think so many of the fill-in hosts surprisingly lack. They are sort of doing a version, they're sort of play acting, but he is the real deal, and he believes every word that he's saying. I don't want to linger too much on that particular aspect of how great Jon Stewart still is.
Yeah.
After all this time.
But he crushed it.
But he totally crushed it.
It was great.
And interestingly, a lot of people were pissed about what Jon Stewart had to say about the 2024 election.
The fact that Joe Biden is old and has not done anything to build confidence in people, that maybe he's not too old to be
right. That was part of it, and he definitely he basically addressed like Biden's memory, Biden's age, but also Trump's memory, the amount of like crime, criminal charges that Trump has hanging over him. But I think, and I want to play what I think was the crux of Jon Stewart's argument, and this is in very Jon Stewart mode, which is, this is not a standard jokey monologue. This is a take. This is an angle. This is not, I look at politics today and I make joke about it.
Yeah.
This is, I read the room. I see what's going on. We have a massively unpopular president who is running against someone who's even more unpopular, or debatably, I guess.
Yeah, who knows now?
Who is like, again, everyone by every measure, everyone says this is Trump number 2 will be even more dangerous. Trump the second time around will be even more dangerous. But then also you have a president who is now, 4 months into green lighting genocide in Gaza, and Stewart addresses it, and in a way that is not, I think he didn't go hard enough, but he definitely addresses it, and kind of like, it's a little bit of a background to his monologue, but subtly in the background.
Yeah.
Specifically the line, and this is what I mean about reading the room, the line of, if this is the most important election, and we're at what is it, the gates of hell or whatever, we're on the battlefield, then the person going up against Trump is actually deserving of more scrutiny, not less.
Yeah.
You want to go in there with all of your guns blazing, or you want to be in the best position to defeat Donald Trump.
Yes.
And are we in that position? And so he's reading the country's mood right now, which is basically, shut up about Joe Biden, shut up about genocide, shut up about his age. Although honestly, the people who are arguing about genocide are not necessarily the same people who are arguing about his age. There's people who are talking about his age were like fucking centrist, David Axelrod, DNC folks. And he's also saying, look, democracy is not a one-day thing. This is before, this is after. He's not saying he won't vote for Biden. He's not saying Joe Biden and Donald Trump are the same. He, in fact, starts it off like that.
Yeah.
But that didn't prevent people on Twitter from freaking out. Palmer Report, which is kind of like a, lib account, says, sorry, Jon Stewart, but this both sides false equivalence horse crap. The Daily Show is supposed to cut through the media's dishonesty, not parrot it, will not be watching. And then you had Aaron Rupar, who Aaron clips a lot of cable news, says Jon Stewart still has it in terms of being funny and entertaining, but the political content of his monologue is basically the New York Times op-ed page in TV form. Both sides are not, in fact, equally bad.
God, how do you not look at yourself in the mirror and be like, wait, am I a bitch? Like that Aaron Rupar fucking guy, whenever I see his tweets like that, I'm just like, what even are you? What is the point of you? You're just like, listen, we need a super lib on this website, and I'm your guy.
Well, I mean, look, he does a service which is, again, clipping a lot
of
cable news and a lot of,
but there's no way there's no way he watched that and took away from it, oh, both sides. No, he saw other people saying, oh, Jon Stewart's both sidesing it, and said, yeah, all right, I'm going to take this on.
No, but in no way was he both sidesing it at all.
Yes.
He is so squarely in the Biden camp.
Yes.
And obviously he's to the left of it.
Right. It's not that he's in the Biden camp. It's that he
so squarely wants to defeat Donald Trump, is what I'm trying to say.
He clearly knows that Donald Trump is a bigger threat,
yes.
At least, holistically. But he's like, if Donald Trump is a big threat, then what are we doing throwing a Nerf ball at him?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I think,
and the fact that people didn't see that, oh yeah, this is a New York Times op-ed. What are you talking?
You know what
about,
it is?
Dude?
It's first of all of these libs who are attacking him, they were the same libs who used to attack him in 2003 when he was the first not even comedy show, the first news-ish type show that was against the Iraq war, and was like, what are we doing, guys? What are we doing? Why are we manufacturing consent for this? And all the libs were lockstep, no, we have to do this, we've decided. It was there was a huge anti-war movement, but it wasn't from the institutional liberal rags like fucking Atlantic or New York Times or whatever. It was it was people like Aaron Rupar or the Palmer Report who were saying Jon Stewart, he's gone too far, and is this really good for the country?
Right? Is this good for the country?
For us to ask questions?
And it's just so incredible to me, because can you imagine if Jon Stewart came back to the Daily Show and just did Donald Trump orange guy with a spray tan,
oh my god,
fucking monologue jokes?
Honestly, I believe that's why. That's why he
comedy
left.
Totally. I mean, well, he left before
he did
Trump
leave before
was even a candidate, so he never got in. I mean, maybe it was during the run-up, it was sort of clear the writing was on the wall, but it was also the writing was on the wall that maybe Hillary Clinton would have been president. And honestly, if you want to piece out at any political comedy, like sort of comedically political or political comedy time, Hillary Clinton presidency might have been a good time to be like, I'm gonna go not do this anymore.
Right, yeah.
But but imagine if he had come back from that. I definitely wanted to say my pussy would have dried up immediately, which is very, very sad. But my comedy, I feel like you watch Jon Stewart and the comedy fires within me.
Yes.
Just go bing.
Yeah.
And then imagine if he just done a run of the mill fucking monologue about Trump being terrible. Again, part of me would have died, literally died.
You can get that on any fucking late night show. And all of these people who are these libs who want everyone to, they can't get enough of their orange man bad content. It's just you guys, you can get that anywhere. And the fact is that if you were looking at Jon Stewart and going oh, how come you're not saying the things I believe? Maybe you should, take a second and re-examine why you feel it's necessary that nobody criticize the fucking president. You are ridiculous if you believe no one should criticize the president. And I'm sorry, but anyone who's doing that, I think is an op and full of shit. And let me just say one more thing. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I also noticed in the replies, a much more interesting fact to me was not just that some libs were mad, was the amount of clearly paid bots blue checkmark bots that a lot of these like political organizations hire in order to push a narrative. You see it on the right all the time.
Is that what they're doing now? Just like with the random blue check marks?
Yes. I mean, you see it all the time. I mean, whenever I get brigaded by Zionists online, it's like a bunch of blue check marks are the ones who are the most mad. And I'm just like, some of them I think are real people. A lot of them are not. I mean, like Twitter is nothing but bots now. And so to me, it's almost even worse because it's like, I think the majority of libs agree that Biden is like in trouble, that Biden is old.
They're the one who said it first.
Yes.
They're the ones who pointed it out first. And now that there's actually something substantive to take issue with Biden upon, like the war on Gaza.
They're like, no, he's not old anymore. Never mind.
Yeah.
No, but I think in terms of real people, I think real libs agree that Biden old and it's not looking good for November.
Yeah, but don't talk about it.
Well, that's the thing.
Like spend 9 months not talking about it.
I think what that means is that like a lot of those bots are that means that democratic institutions or like political, shadow groups or whatever the fuck, like what do you call them?
PACs.
Super PACs or whatnot are paying people or are paying someone to make bots that say, oh, Jon Stewart both sidesing, which is even more pathetic because they can't even get like you have to call on either your standard liberal blue MAGA guys online who all they do is say Democratic talking points. You have to call on them, and you have to get a botnet to all be like, yeah, make sure that you get it out there that Jon Stewart bad. And it's like, that's pathetic. It is absolutely pathetic.
I mean, Jon Stewart's not the one who believes he can strike deals with Republicans. Speaking of both sides.
Yeah. And also, by the way, this was the exact same thing that people were saying in 2016. They were like, why is Bernie criticizing? You shouldn't be criticizing Hillary.
There's two.
That's bad. We should never criticize Hillary.
Yeah, honestly, I think Hillary would have won had we all just shut up.
Yeah, right. Hillary totally would have won if people hadn't been mean to Hillary. If Bernie had just let her win or whatever the fuck. Not run. It's total fucking bullshit, and it's setting us up for a repeat of 2016, and Dems only have themselves to blame.
What's going on, Frantifa? If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel right now. Hit that button. And also, you can become a patron and support the show every single week. Get access to bonus episodes and exclusive merchandise. Patreon.com/Bitchuation Room. Do it.